I saw a Forbes article that said 8 out of 10 small businesses have 0 employees. Essentially, other than the owner, nobody is working for the company. There are 33.2 million small businesses, and 27 million of them are run by a single owner with no employees. And today I'm going to tell you the problem with being a sole proprietor, owner operator, being a one-man shop. You see, a business, the whole point of it is that the business is eventually supposed to work for you. That if you're a one-man shop, if you go on vacation for a week, the business will likely cease to exist. Most businesses and home improvement, painting, contracting, trucking, you take a vacation as an owner-operator, as the only owner of the company, your business does not make any money. That is not a business. Usually these guys who run their own businesses without any employees, they are still making more money than if they went and worked for themselves. I'm not saying from the money standpoint. Usually these guys will pull in 50 to 100,000 more than if they worked for somebody else. So what the issue is these people take a risk and they bet on themselves and they win one battle and then they stop. What business is taking continued risk over time, and then you will find that eventually you stand back and you have a business. What happens is a lot of people take that first step, but then they don't want to take another step to hire an employee. Or they hire their first employee, it goes bad, they fire them, and they say, or they've gone through 2 or 3 employees and they start to give up. They say, oh my gosh, nobody wants to work hard. Nobody wants to be a great employee. But the issue is you're going to have a job the rest of your life. And the biggest thing that I want to talk to you about is that your business has no value in it. I like to buy businesses. I have an insurance agency. I've bought insurance agencies and I participated in other businesses. And I do not want to buy a business in which I have to go work 40 to 60 hours in it. I have so many other things going on. I have this YouTube channel, I have my insurance agency, and I have a couple other businesses that I am working on. I don't have time to devote buying into a job. I don't want to buy a job. I want to buy a business. This is the business that I look for, have 2 to 5 employees. I can come in and I can, as an owner, maybe have to hop in on certain things, but not necessarily on all things. So as a one-man shop, your business is only worth basically its equipment. Maybe it's contracts if you have some contracts, but let's face it, if you have a one-man shop, you're not going to have any really prestigious contracts that are worth any value. So your business isn't going to be sold. And when your business isn't sold, essentially you're working a high-paying job for 40 years. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you that you need to stop playing it small and you need to play it big, because a company that has value in it, that has employees, is sold for a multiple of its profits. So in my industry, I think insurance agencies, or let's provide pool service companies, right? They sell for 3 to 5 times the profit under $1 million in revenue. So instead of you being a one-man shop and then you may be profiting $120,000 a year, you could have employees and profit $250,000. But now you can sell your business for 3 times. And when you sell it for 3 times, that's $750,000. As a pool service company, if you just the owner operator, it's not going to go for as much because it's not a business. A business is people in a company working for the business and creating revenue. You can only scale so far being just you as the owner. You only have so much time in the day. Some people always say, I'll run out of time. I don't have time. I never have time as an owner. Well, you don't have time because all you have in the day is 8 to 10 hours, right? That's 8 to 10 hours of work, maybe 12 hours a day. But let's face it, you got family, you got things going on after work. So you have 8 to 10 hours. Well, the only way for you to get more hours is to add another employee. If you add an employee, even if they're not that efficient, that's another 6 hours that has been added to your 8 to 10 hours that you work a day. And then you keep adding employees and you can see how potentially you could get up to $1,000 work week or 1,000 hour work day because you have so many employees. What could you get done if you could work 1,000 hours in a day instead of 8 hours in a day? If you train your employees correctly, yes, what happens is when you hire an employee, your revenue and your profit your revenue kind of stays the same, but your profit goes down. And what a lot of people see is they're like, oh, I'm making less money. This is not making sense. Well, what happens is the profit goes down and then it goes back up higher. And then you need to commit again. And in a linear fashion, it goes more like this. But what happens is people aren't disciplined. They start making really great money and they don't reinvest back in their business. They don't take some of that money and say, you know what, this is great. This is more money than I've ever made. A lot of business owners, this goes through, and this went through with me. Hey, I'm making more money than I've ever made. Oh, great. Now I can go on these vacations. Now I can go do stuff. Wow, this is kind of addicting. Spend the money. And then you realize, oh, this is an endless hamster wheel. If I don't start investing and essentially investing back in my business, I'm going to have a job. And I have to build a company. I have to build, and really it's kind of selfish to the potential people out there that could be working for you. You could be hiring people, providing value back into the economy, providing value back into people's lives by being a great boss, right? Some people say, hey, I started a company because I hated the way I was treated when I was an employee. So I wanted to be the owner, but yet you don't have any employees. You need to have employees and you need to start making a difference. If you are feeling this and you're saying, hey, you know what, Nate, I started my company. I don't have enough revenue for employees. I get it. Not right now, but you need to commit to saying, hey, once I start finding success here, I need to start reinvesting back into the company so I can build a company, build an institution. And then I can actually make money when I'm on vacation. I can make money if I don't show up to work on a Friday. You have people in places. You're more of a manager. You don't necessarily have to do the daily type of grimy tasks. You have somebody else to do that. You're managing the company from afar. Build the company you want. Don't set these expectations of what everybody else is. That's one thing that maybe people don't want to scale because they're like, oh, I have to have this, I have to have that. You can have whatever you want. I didn't even have an office the first 2 years of my company. Everybody was virtual, okay? We just got an office about 4 or 5 months ago in my company. So we just now started bringing people back. We're starting to formalize it, make it a little bit more corporate. But at the beginning, I wasn't corporate at all. So if I would have taken that mentality, I've been like, man, I can't afford to have an office and 2 employees. I can't do that, right? I can't do that. But you can as you morph it into what you believe you really want. So I think there's a big issue with small businesses essentially playing it small and playing it selfishly. I think you need to commit to it. Just like when you started your business, you started at zero and you built it to where it is and you're making great money. Again, you are an entrepreneur. You're an innovator. You're the person who built your company. And at some point, the back of yourself carrying the load gets too heavy. And you need to have somebody else to help you carry the load, and that's what employees do for you. You bring on the right people, and you motivate them monetarily, incentivize them to help you grow your company. A lot of employers don't do that. You need to incentivize your employees. Hey, if we grow, you grow. If our revenue, our profit grows, your bonus, your profit sharing grows as well. Don't treat employees like they did 40, 50 years ago. You need to treat employees like it's 2023. You got to give them opportunities and motivate them monetarily. And if you don't, then you're never going to build a company, and you're always going to be one sickness, one vacation away from missing a day's pay. So if you like this type of content, I post a video every day at 1:15 p.m. Eastern about how to grow your business, how to start a business ideas, side hustles, and how to get to the next level of your entrepreneurial journey. So don't be part of the 8 out of 10. Don't be part of the 80%. Join the 20% of people that are committed to building a company. You should be committed to building a company. And if you need any help, reach out. I'll be happy to have a 30-minute free phone call with you. Thanks.